welcome to another episode of the all-new Tradecast. Today we've got a guest that people in my industry will surely know, and he's an expert in his own right, and we'll talk about that as we go in. So welcome, Gareth. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So we'll start this off the same way I start every other one. If you can tell us who you are, what you do, and how you got there.
Well, after this journey up, mate, I'm not quite sure who I am. It's taken me 5.5 hours. Well, my name's Gareth Wilson. I was a landscaper for 31 years. And then I became a consultant. And now I'm a mediator. I'm an expert witness. I'm a trainer. I'm on the British Standards Committee for pavements, modular pavements. I'm a qualified assessor. I write articles for Pro Landscaper. Alan Sargent and myself have just built this website called paving.site. Which is basically the paving Bible, and to be perfectly honest, it's absolutely been embraced by the industry, and we're doing really, really well with it. And it's just growing and growing and growing. It's gonna be a progressive thing.
Yep, excellent. So, 31 years. It's a long time in the industry. I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes all the way throughout.
It's 35 years now.
35?
Yeah, 31 years when I packed in.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, still building Chelsea gardens though, so that's still keeping my hand in a bit.
Yeah. So in terms of you starting off your business and how you've grown to the position you're in now, how was the early years?
Well, early years, I had a job basically for the local football club. You deliver like these bingo tickets basically, and I got a commission off everything that I collected each week. Yep. So I got a few extra quid for it because my dad was one of those people that you had to earn your own money, and he would top it up when you've earned your own money, sort of thing. So it sets you well in life, doesn't it? You're not getting everything given to you like a lot do these days, sort of thing. So you get a bit older, you need a bit more money, don't you? Yeah. You discover these things like girls and beers and things like that, and whiskey and, brandy and things, and they cost money. Clothes and everything else. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I left school. So I started maintaining people's gardens, neighbours and things like that. And my dad came home from work one day and he just said to me, like, why don't you go into your own business, doing garden maintenance and landscaping? Because my dad was an environmental health officer, and he was also like a part-time dry stone waller at the time. But my dad retired when he was 50, and he went into the dry stone walling trade pretty much straight away because he'd done it in his part-time, and then he just migrated straight into that. Anyway, so I can remember, I said this before and I'll say it again, but I was watching Neighbours, my dad's at the back of me giving it, you need to do this, you need to start your own business and da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, right, Dad, that type of thing,
As you do.
As you do, yeah, just agree with him. Next thing you know, I'm doing courses in horticulture, I'm doing courses in groundworks. My dad's sending me out because my dad had my dad just passed away, by the way, 26th of November, and we buried him earlier this year on the 3rd. Yeah. So, but my dad did a hell of a lot to push me because, at the end of the day, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It was, and then he got me on this enterprise allowance scheme, which was like a government grant where they gave you 40 quid a week and support, to help you out, start your own business. And it was good, really, to be fair. They taxed you on it at the end of the year, which was a bit of a surprise, but there you go. And things just progressed from there, and, things were going well, and then probably about 92, we had the first recession that I remember anyway. And I was sat at home for 6 weeks. I had no work on. From having loads and loads of work, no work. Yeah. I thought, shit, I can't go through this again. Girlfriends, clothes, going drinking booze, things like that. You need money for all this. Yeah. So I decided that I realised that I was actually in the big boys world now. And because I'm in the big boys world, I need to start putting big boys effort into this, not just letting my dad, right, you've got a job here, you've got a job there and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I started to put a lot more effort into like putting myself about more. There was obviously no Google then or anything like that.
No social media.
No social media. So I was relying on my big gob. And obviously my dad's contacts, because my dad did have like a massive array of contacts. So anyway, what happened then was I was doing, 50% landscaping, small jobs, small patios. It was predominantly crazy paving. which we're talking about on the way up to a mate of mine. And it was like, broken stone slates off roofs, We found a place that did like sawn sandstone as well.
Yep.
That we were laying, and then that sort of went out of fashion a little bit, and then we were laying more of the Marshalls pressed concrete type products and Bradstone. And then, of course, Indian stone hit the market, didn't it? And just went, bump. Wow, we can get natural stone at an affordable price.
Yep.
What's going on?
Back in the days, was it still nice and chunky?
Oh, yeah, proper chunky, yeah. Didn't need the bonding mortar because it had the weight to hold it down, but, that's another story for another time, isn't it? Some people don't quite get this, do they? And the undulating bottom, so it nestled into the bed.
A full episode just on that.
Yeah, you could, yeah. And still, some of the non-believers will still not get it, will they? But hey-ho, that's up to them. But so anyway, the Indian Stone Revolution came in. But what happened then was, I sort of like, do you know, I said this the other day, and I worked on, because Bank Holiday Monday in Glossop back in those days was as big as Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it had this huge market and it attracted loads of people, and all the pubs were buzzing. So you were always quite rough on a Tuesday. You didn't really feel like going to work. But it was a massive day. The pubs were always rammed, and it was a really, really good day out. So I thought, get to work in the morning. Don't have too much drink on the Sunday, because of course it's Bank Holiday weekend. You drink every day, don't you? Like you do when you're a kid. Couldn't do it now. It'd kill me after about Friday, I think. So it was a case of that. I went to work on this Bank Holiday Monday, and people on one of the local estates where the people got a bit of money, they were like, "Oh, he's cutting grass there. We'll get him to do it." And then people would just come in. Honestly, I must have picked up about 12 that day. 10 to 12 different people who said, I want to cut our grass regularly. And I was like, deal me in. Because everybody's at home on a Bank Holiday Monday. So anyway, that progressed. They recommended me, and the garden maintenance and landscaping from being 50-50 went bump.
Right.
And I was doing probably at most a couple of landscaping jobs a month. And the garden maintenance just proliferated till I had about 120 regular clients.
Really?
Yeah. So, fast forward a little bit now, and we get to 2000, and my daughter's being born. And it's like in Scotland, in Glossop. Probably not quite as bad, but we live in a valley. We've got the Cheshire Plain, so it comes over and then dumps all the rain on us, relief rain. So we've got very, very high rainfall. Yeah. And it just never stopped raining one summer. And I can remember my dad was working just over the hill in Holmfirth, and we're talking a 20 to 25 minute drive. My dad's coming home with a suntan, right? And my dad was very dark skinned anyway. Yeah. So he had black hair, my dad, very dark skinned. He could pass for, one of these Greek waiters or something. Yeah. That's what he looked like. People used to say that about him. So I'm thinking, I've not worked here today. I've been, out in the rain and everything.
Soaked.
Yeah, soaked. And the lawnmower's making more mess than it. You're not cutting the grass, you're churning it, and you can't get on the borders because of that wet. You're cutting edges and things like that, and you're absolutely soaked right through. So my daughter's being born on, of course, again, same old story, same as like with the booze and the girls and the women, taking them out and things like that. You need money for it, don't you? You need money for kids. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to get back into the landscaping more, because my dad, all through the winter, my dad was working. He always had work through the winter. And like I say, in Glossop, it just held the rain. So I thought, you know what? I need to start working a bit further out of field. And in Glossop, I don't know what it's like up here, but in Glossop, we can have snow for 6 weeks in Glossop, right? You go to Hyde, which is 5 miles away, there's nothing at all. Yeah. It holds it in Glossop. So we can be like, you can be without work for 6 weeks if you just
Sounds
work
like
in
Glasgow.
Glossop. Yeah. So the landscaping then, I advertised in a little booklet, and it was called the Pocket Saver Guide. And a mate of mine from school ran this Pocket Saver Guide, because of course the internet wasn't, still quite where it should be or where it was going to be. I think it was just pre-Google, and and I started getting all this work. It just went like that. Next thing you know, I got 2 or 3 teams on the go.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then if we go forward to 2011, my friend Joanne, excuse me a second. My friend Joanne said to me, why don't we go to Tatton Park Flower Show? And I said, well, what's that? And she went, well, it's like sort of like Chelsea, but like it's up north. It's an RHS show. And I'm like, okay, that sounds promising. But she says, we'll have to join the RHS because it's Wednesday. Because she worked as a teacher and she had Wednesday afternoon off.
Yep.
So we joined the RHS. We went to Tatton Park Flower Show and it was like, oh my fucking God, this is...
Is this where it all began?
This is where it like really kicked into touch. And I can remember some of these massive show gardens. Well, they seemed massive at the time. They probably weren't that big, but and I'm like, how the fuck have they done this in like, in 2 weeks? And it was like, I thought, I mean, look at it. They're absolutely stunning. And I couldn't get my head around how they'd done it in such a short period of time. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Joanne said to me, she said, you know what? Why don't you do one of these gardens? Oh, no way can we do that. No way can we do one of them show gardens. But I will have a go at one of these back-to-back gardens, these small back-to-back gardens. So Tatton has this, basically, they used to have back-to-back houses up north where you've got the apex of the roof there. That was one half of the house. That was the other half of the house. One entrance in, one entrance out. And then they stopped them because they were a fire hazard and things like that.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, and I got a few people together. I brought a designer in and I brought somebody in for the plants and it just proliferated. And I'll be honest, we did have a clue, but we didn't have a clue how the shows go.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of luck with us.
Yeah.
We got a really good theme behind us, which the first garden was called Peak Reflections. So it was about the high peak. Anyway, my dad, God rest his soul, came and built the wall with a peak gardener. The wall looked amazing. The judges absolutely loved it. And in the end, we ended up getting best in category.
Excellent.
And a silver gilt medal.
And that was your first one?
That was my first one. And being a big head, which I am, I thought, you know what? That's very nice, that, winning a silver gilt and getting a best in category. But it's not gold, is it? Gold's gold, isn't it?
Pushed you on.
Pushed me on. I saved a few quid. And the next thing, we're back again. I brought in a young lady called Caroline Lord who did the design with me, and we got a gold best in show. The garden was a little bit bigger this time. It was 10 by 8, I think it was. We got gold and best in category. And I thought, well, achieved what I've done. That's me done now. Yeah. Fantastic, superb. And then perennial.org contacted me, probably around about the November time. They said, by the way, it's Laura from Perennial, and we would love you to build a garden for us for Paul Harvey Brooks. I'm like, right, okay. And she says, we're talking a garden like the size of a Main Avenue garden at Chelsea. And I'm like thinking, fucking hell. They're like 22 by 11 generally. Yeah. So straight away I'm thinking, fucking hell, what am I going to do? I've got to say yeah. So I said, yeah, I'll be up for that. So, well, we need a price off. There's other people involved. And I'm thinking, well, who's Paul Harvey Brooks? And I looked up Paul Harvey Brooks. I thought, fucking hell, Paul Harvey Brooks, famous, So anyway, me and my team, I said, just had a call, guys, what do you think? They're, yeah, we're up for it. And anyway, we didn't have much contact with Paul. And Paul basically didn't want to work with us. You know what I mean? Because he likes his regimented team. Yeah. But then we started working with Paul, and we got on, all of us, like an absolute house on fire. Absolutely, yeah. And then full credit to Paul. He took us on a journey that ended up taking us to Chelsea in the end. But in between that, so we're at Tatton again. Sorry, we got best in show, we got best construction, and we got gold medal as well. So then Paul says, right, okay, I want you to start being my regular guys for...
So you went for, don't want to work with you to... You're working
yeah. And we still wind each other up about the email he sent me, a very curt email he sent me at one time, and I was like, look at that there, Paul, what do you think to that? And he was like, oh, fuck off. Anyway, but that was that. And we then progressed. So if we go forward, we then did our first show garden down in Hampton Court in 2017. Was it 2017 or 2016 it was. And we got gold there, which was a tough one because Paul's partner died, and Jan was a great guy, and it had a massive effect on my mental health at the time. It really did have an effect. Anyway, that got dealt with, and then Paul says, by the way, the Quarrying Institute have contacted me. So I said, oh, no, okay, brilliant. Big budget.
Yeah.
Just over $250,000. And I'm like, fucking hell, $250,000. How big's this garden going to be? Because Paul is like 5'7". And I say he's got this little man syndrome, and he probably has, but he says he hasn't. But anyway, he has to have the big trees. He likes the big tree. He has to have the biggest tree on the show ground.
Big statements.
Big statements. Yes. So do you know him?
No.
So yeah, Paul says we're going to do a garden, and I went, right, okay. So how big is it? Like, and I can't remember the exact dimension, but it was 503 square meters, 2.5 times bigger than a main avenue garden at Chelsea. Right. So it was the second biggest show garden ever built.
I'll go and Google them right once we're finished.
Have a look, yeah. So this garden, mate, and I'm not kidding you now, it was fucking enormous. Like the public used to come and think it was 2 gardens. It was that big. So we progressed from a 6x4, right, to 503 square meters. Yeah, that's so big. Yeah, honestly, it was huge. Anyway, we built that, and then we went straight down to Hampton Court, got another gold. The one, we were tired after that because the garden at Chatsworth was challenging. Right. Never stopped raining. To be perfectly honest, I still don't know how we completed it in the time that we did, because if it was a Chelsea garden, you get 3 weeks on it. We got 2 weeks, and I honestly still don't know how we managed to complete the garden. Yeah, because it was just massive. And the weather was appalling. The famous story goes, which we didn't tell Paul until about 2 years ago, because we knew he'd have had an heart attack, was if you're doing repair works on Chatsworth House, right, it was the Queen at the time, has to give permission to open this special quarry near Chatsworth to mine the stone from and to do the repairs. It's a very hard, low water absorption stone, beautiful stone. But you had to have permission from the Queen anyway. We got permission from the Queen to open the quarry, get these pieces of stone cut. So I thought, I'll have a couple of these pieces for my house, just to keep memorabilia type thing. I'm having a couple of pieces of them. This is rare shit, Yeah. Anyway, so we were really pushing it right to the limit on this garden. The limit. And the day before, in the afternoon, we'd cut the piece of stone and it slotted into this huge Corten steel wall. It was called Passing Light. I mean, it must have been about 20 metres long, this light, and about 50 and about 5 metres high. And we slotted this stone in the day before it fit in perfectly. Of course, it pissed it down overnight, shrunk it. Yeah, wouldn't fit in. We'd taken all the tools home. We had no tools. So Adam is there, he's panicking, fucking hell, what are we going to do? We got a grinder. I said, I'll go and buy a grinder from the builder's merchant. I said, fucking relax, it'll be fucking fine. What the fuck's up with you? Anyway, reversed over the piece of stone and fucking snapped it, didn't I? So, fucking hell, everyone's going, whoa. Anyway, that was that. So then I thought, well, the judges are going to be, the assessors, because you get assessed, then you get judged. So I thought the assessor will be 2 hours. It'll take me 55 minutes to get home and 55 minutes to get back. And I'm fucking praying I don't get behind, because you're going through the Peak District. Yep. And I'm thinking, please don't get behind a fucking tractor. Please don't get behind a fucking tractor. So I'm absolutely bombing it back. Get the piece of stone. Get back. As we're slotting it in, the assessors are walking, up the steel, the aluminium tramways, and we slot it in. We didn't even have to cut it. It just went fucking in. Anyway, gold, best in show, best construction. So we were happy there.
A bit of luck on that one as well.
Fucking luck, mate. Fucking hell, mate. Anyway, so, we were lucky. And then we went down to Hampton Court. Now, that wasn't our best garden that we ever built, that, to be honest. It still got gold, but it scraped it, if I'm honest. We could have done it better, but we were knackered. It was a big ask to do 2 show gardens so close together. Yep. So I did it again about 15 times after that, but there you go. I don't learn. And then the dream came true. We got to Chelsea. Paul got us to Chelsea. We got a gold. By this time, Paul and myself, our relationship was getting a bit frayed at times. Paul, by his own admission, was pushing us, pushing. He was still grieving from losing his partner. I had mental health issues at the time, which actually were brought on by ADHD because I've got ADHD.
Yeah.
So the first time I will have had depression. After that, it was me ADHD sort of like seemed to proliferate in me. Mm-hmm. So when I took antidepressants after that, it reacted with my ADHD and I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was constantly asleep. And I was ill as well. I was constantly ill. My immune system was like on its arse.
Yeah.
Me and Paul ended up having a fallout for about 18 months. In that meantime, 2019 came along and I dislocated my knee. I then got bronchitis, always getting bronchitis, always. And in 2017, I had a chest infection for like 7 months, 8 months, something like that. Can't quite remember. Just would not go.
Yeah.
And of course, doctors are saying, you can't have antibiotics. It's a virus. It won't do anything. So anyway, I saw online that if you fermented your own kefir grains in like whole milk, it helps your immune system. So I started doing that. So these grains came, they were like that, tiny. And I cultivated this massive dish of them, like, because they kept growing. Never got ill for 2 years.
Self-medicated?
Self-medicated, yeah. So I didn't get ill for a long time. And then the cleaner came and thought, Christ, what's that in the fridge? And fucking binned it. I'd been growing them for 2 years, not been ill for 2 years. 3 weeks later, bronchitis. 5 weeks after that, I think, pneumonia.
Jesus.
Yeah. So then my doctor, who's a pal of mine, said, Gareth, you ain't going to Chelsea, mate. And I went, what? He went, this is pneumonia. I couldn't drink anything.
Yep.
Without bringing it back up. So that was tough. And in the end, I was on antibiotics for about a month. It was about a week, but I was still ill for about a month. But I went straight to Chelsea, didn't have any rest. Come back with mental and physical exhaustion.
Gubbed.
Yeah. Fucking, honestly. I couldn't even get off the settee. I was fucked. So just got myself better there.
Yep.
And
back down again.
Yeah, back down again. I went working in Market Harborough and there was loads of deer in the fields in this long grass. Got a bit of a fucking tick, Lyme disease. So it was a fucking great year, this, I tell you what.
It definitely sounds it.
Everyone said, oh, fucking hell, you got to be careful of fucking COVID and all that. I said, if 2019 couldn't kill me, fucking COVID-19 certainly won't fucking kill me. So anyway, we're not finished yet. So I was on antibiotics again for like fucking 6 weeks. I then got diagnosed with a load of sleep disorders, restless leg syndrome, periodic limb movement, and slight sleep apnea. I then went back to my doctor and I said, look, this pneumonia's coming back, like, and he said, you haven't got fucking pneumonia, Gareth. I said, well, I can't fucking breathe. And he said, no, you're breathing like this. He said, it's anxiety, it's stress. He says, you're doing too much. Bearing in mind, my doctor's my mate as well. And
brutally honest.
Yeah, you're brutally honest. And he said, Gareth, look at the fucking state. And I looked at myself and I was like, you get used to how you look, don't you? I look back at fucking things.
You don't see the changes.
I couldn't see them.
Yeah.
And there were 2 wake-up calls. The recent ones were, there'll be pictures of me in 2019 and 2020. Fucking hell, I look like fucking death. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I look at myself and I'm just like, fuck, how did you let yourself get like that? Doctor said to me, you're not going to reach 55 the way you're going. And I didn't quite take that seriously.
Yeah.
And then when I first started landscaping again in 2000, when I was obviously went back full-time landscaping, I worked for a girl called Kerry, and her and her mum and her kids walk on a loop past my house. And mum lives down here, and they walk past on a loop round there. Anyway, I saw her. She said, oh, Gareth, you look dead well. And I went, thanks, Kerry. She went, yeah, the last time I saw you, I thought you had fucking cancer and you were dying. And I was like, thanks. Fucking hell, what's the one with that? She went, last year. I went, that adds up.
Yeah.
So people were seeing it, I wasn't seeing it.
It's easy for other people to see it It's not as easy for you to see it though.
No, it's not.
No, definitely.
Nowhere near, mate. And I can remember when I had in 2019, I worked for an absolute twat at Chelsea, and he never paid me.
Right.
He bumped his company, and he bumped my company, not just on me, loads of other people as well. So he owed me a lot of money. I had another company that closed on me, owed me money. I had a very difficult customer as well, just couldn't please him. And to be honest with you, I was getting to the point where I wasn't seeing the red flags.
Yeah.
And I can remember going to this arsehole of a client, and we crossed over with this other contractor on the driveway. And as I got level with him, he went, "Don't do the fucking job, mate. He's a cunt." Right? And I'm like, right, okay. And that just, anyway, that just went straight out of my head.
You done the job.
I did the fucking job, yeah. And I just didn't have the fucking energy, the inclination to fucking chase him. But then I fucked it off. And I can remember one morning, my wife saying to me, "We're going to go to the cafe over in Broadbottom. Are you coming?" I said, yeah. I got my son there. He's going like, "Dad, are we going? Dad, are we going? Dad, can we go now? Dad, can we? Dad, I'm going out on my bike this afternoon. Dad." And I went like that. I went, "Right, that's it." And I went, "All right, we can go now." I went, "No, we can go now." But I said, "That's it. I'm fucking landscaping, the business, gone. I'm done." My wife goes, "Are you really?" And I went, "Yeah." I said, I'm not doing this anymore." So she was like, she didn't believe me. And then I said to the lads, and this is cutting a long story short, "Do you want to buy it? And sell you all the leads, I'll sell you all, you'll get everything with it." We eventually agreed a price. And we didn't look back. The lads are doing incredibly well now. They still come and help me at the shows. Yeah. They're all booked up 6 months, 7 months in advance, doing some amazing work.
I follow them on social media as well.
They're good lads. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're all mates, not just like, I don't think I go, well, on my drive up here, I spoke to Mitchell, Tom and Adam. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Joe Irving, who helps us at the shows as well, I spoke to him, and I spoke to Paul this morning. By the way, me and Paul made up in about 2021. Yeah. He came crawling back. So if he's listening, you came crawling back. It wasn't me. We have a big joke about that. So I wraps it up. I'd saved a few quid. Helped the lads on their way. I stuck with them I still help them now, but they don't really need me now. Yeah. You know what I mean? They do incredibly well. And like I say, we speak every day. It's every day. I don't think we go 2 days without speaking to each other, and that includes weekend. Yeah,
they're friends at the end of the day, innit? It's no.
Yeah, we're mates. You know what I mean? And we've argued like fucking the past.
Been through a lot, but it sounds it.
Yeah, we've been through a fucking lot, and it's like, I'll just give you an example. Adam, obviously, my dad just died. My mum's got Alzheimer's. Adam, will you go and like grip my mum's driveway? I've got to go to wherever I was going. I think I was going doing an expert witness down in bloody Milton Keynes or something. Yeah, I'll do it in the morning. Mitchell, can you do me a favour? Can you power wash my mum's driveway? Because when she goes down, it's slippery. Yeah, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Tom, could you mind just feeding me dad's chickens? Yeah, it's not, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the way it is. Yeah. So, but we're all mates.
Good friends.
Good friends. And we, and the lads who come and help me at the shows, help us at the shows now, are all, they're like a family. Yeah. So anyway, I finished and I thought, well, I'll not be doing any more show gardens again. That'll be me done. And part of me was like thinking, fucking thank fuck for that. No more show gardens to stress the shit out of me. Yep. Then my mate Ross went, why don't we team together? Because this company had asked us both asked, oh no, this was a different one. So Ross asked me to come and work on this garden with him. So I said, yeah, no problem at all. So I did that. And then all of a sudden, I've got the fucking itch again.
You get the bug?
I've got the fucking itch again. And I'm thinking, why, Gareth, these fucking shows fucking half killed you. Why the fuck do you want to do these again? And my wife's going, it's just going to be one in it. It's just going to be one. And I'm like, yeah. And I thought, well, no, they're not going to ask me again, are they? Because I'm out of it now. And I wasn't really doing much work at the time. I was working at one of the academies and doing some training there and helping out there, which I enjoyed initially. And next thing you know, Tatton Flower Show comes round 2022. Do you fancy building a show garden for me? This was Lex, the show manager. I was like, yeah. She said it's for a celebrity fucking designer, like, and I was like, oh, right, okay, yeah. And I'm thinking, well, am I going to get that to do this? Or what am I do? And anyway, then I get another call with like a show garden built.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, okay, so that was for Rachel Platt. So I put Mitchell on that one and his team. I think Adam came in out. I think Tom came in out on that one as well, as I remember. And then Little B, I was asked to do Chelsea at 3 weeks' notice. So from being like absolutely, I don't think I'll be doing any more gardens. Yeah. I was offered 3. I did 3 at Tatton. Mm-hmm. So the celebrity was Joe Swift, who I have to say was a fucking lovely bloke. We had a laugh with Joe every single day. He was just one of the lads. Yeah. It was fucking brilliant. My son-in-law built that one with us. Then Mitchell for Rachel Platt, and then we built for Little B again.
So from being completely out, straight back in?
Fucking straight back in. So how I got back in 2022 was, obviously, me and Paul had been a bit... We'd been talking for about a year again then, and we were friends again, but we'd not been out for a drink or anything like that. Anyway, it was the September. Was it the September? No, we'd met up in the September because you had the September Chelsea. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When it was COVID.
Yeah.
So we met up there and, we had a good chinwag, we had a good laugh and everything. And Adam came down and helped me and built one of the show gardens there, which was for Ross, like I mentioned. And then Paul said, right, this was like for the Chelsea in the May in 2022. Gareth, I've got this young girl. She's struggling. And I'm like, right, what the fuck's this got to do with me?
Yeah.
She's lovely. You'll like her. She's same age as your Savannah, my daughter. But she's struggling. She's very nervous. She's, a little bit lost. She's a tiny little thing. And anyway, do you fancy coming building a garden for her at Chelsea? And I'm like, fucking hell. I said, it's in 3 fucking weeks. Are you fucking joking me or what? And he's like, come on. And I thought, do you know what? Me and Paul were friends again now. And, at the back of my mind, I was always thinking, do you know what? I'd love to work with Paul again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We had some amazing times. And at the back of that little fucker's mind, he was thinking it as well. He might not deny it, but it was fucking true.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I told this garden on for B at 3 weeks notice. It was only a balcony container garden, so it's like basically got a wall which is about 2.5 meters high, and then you've got the ground which is like about 15 square meters. Yeah. So it's not massive. Anyway, I love B like a daughter, right? She's amazing. She's incredibly intelligent, but her organisation is fucking woeful. So anyway, we get to build this garden. Right, what have you got organised? You're going to say nothing, aren't you? She went, yeah, I got nothing organised. Right, okay. Show me the design. Right, we need brick slips. Right, okay. So we ordered brick slips. She sees these stone troughs. I said, right, what have you done with them? Well, I've looked at them. And I said, right, go now, do it. I'll meet you here. We'll look at the trees. We'll do this, we'll do that. I said, we'll get everything ordered. Anyway, we did. The week before the show, fuck me, I've never been so ill in years.
Really?
Oh, God, I had a migraine. Never had a migraine before. I had a migraine, and then I got norovirus. Fucking hell, honestly. I was dying. Anyway, my mate took me down to Chelsea, and I think I seen he picked me up in Glossop, and next thing I woke up, I was at Chelsea, and he was dropping me off. I'd slept completely through it. Yeah, just gone. Anyway, I struggled in the build. I didn't feel well for the first 2 or 3 days. It was horrendous. And my secretary, Sammy, had booked me into, I can only describe it as, because accommodation goes incredibly quickly at Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Once you get your funding, right, you book somewhere straight away. Yeah. Otherwise, you get stuck in a crack den like I did. And, oh, fucking hell, I can't even begin to tell you how bad it was. It was... I think about a quarter the size of this room.
Have you seen me staying tonight?
Thanks to that, I'm fucking looking forward to it now. But honestly, it was horrendous. The fucking windows didn't even have glass in them, some of them, when you're walking up the fucking stairs.
Nah, it's definitely not that bad.
Mate, and it stunk of that thing that people smoke as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that something was being grown in there. Anyway, I couldn't prove that one. But like I say, the crack den. I had to put my boot. I took my boots off at night, and I had to trap one boot at one end of the bed, one boot there, so I didn't roll out of bed because the bed was like that. You get in the drift of how bad it was, aren't you? Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, next thing you know, like, but B did well. We all did incredibly well.
To get finished.
We got. She missed out on goal by 1 point.
Really?
1 point. And she did incredibly well. We all did incredibly well. I had Henry from HG Gardens. Henry, who's a cracking landscaper, is in the APL. He's just won an APL award. Henry, I had my mate Mike Fry help me, who is another amazing landscaper. Both full of energy. Great lads. Mm-hmm. And we pulled it off. We did. It was a beautiful little garden. It really was. And next thing, Paul didn't do as well as what he expected, and then I got the begging phone call. I'm going to say that, the begging phone. Get the lads together.
You're milking this.
I am going to fucking milk it with him, a little shit. And the begging phone call, just repeat that for the second time. Get the lads together. We're all going for a drink. We're going for something to eat. And he come and we're all waiting for him. And we knew what was coming. So we're all waiting at my house, like, and we're all like, we're waiting to pounce on him as he turns up at the fucking door.
Yeah.
So why do you want us, Paul? Why? What? You know what's it? What do you want us here for? And he's like, you know what I fucking want you for? You know what it is? We want to build a fucking garden next year, and we're all waiting to pounce on him. So that was. I went for a drink. I got absolute shit faced and had a great time. And we then went to Chelsea. We got silver gilt. Just missed out on gold. Hey ho, is what it is. But then we went to Hampton Court, and we got a gold at Hampton Court, which is the 7th gold that we've won. So me, my team, my lads, and all of us, I should say, we won 6 golds on the trot with Paul.
Yeah,
and we had a blip with my silver gilt, and then we got gold. So yeah, and that's up to date. Other than I'm doing 4 show gardens at Chelsea this year, and then we've got a minimum of 1 with Paul at Wentworth, the new show. And possibly another couple as well. Yeah,
I've seen some of the ones you've put on the social media. You've got quite a good bunch of boys helping with their ones as well.
Got some cracking lads with me. Got my mate Matt from Lux Exteriors, Matt Beasley, cracking lad. My son-in-law again, because last year we got a gold at Chelsea as well. Me and my son-in-law and my son-in-law's dad, he's an amazing, just all-rounder, Rupert's dad. And Rupert, my son-in-law, he's a very, very good landscaper. We got gold there. We're very pleased with that because that was hard work. Mm. So Rupert's building for Nicola Oakey, the Songbird garden. And then we're doing one for the Red Cross with Tom Bannister, John Warland, which Matty's on with me, Matt Beasley. Then I'm working with mate Herman from Acacia Gardens, cracking bloke. Me and Herman met about 3 years ago. We hit it off straight away. Yep. Good mates. And a great team he's got as well. Mm-hmm. And then with my great friend Manoj Molday, me and Manoj again met about 6 years ago now.
I've seen the design of the picture you put off that, man. It looks really good.
And I'm working with Justin and Els on that from Tisserand. Yep. And Justin from JJH. Both are fucking amazing landscapers, cracking lads, all good lads, all along across the board. And yes, I'm looking forward to that.
A few more golds?
I would hope so.
Hopefully.
I would hope so. You can never guarantee it, can you? But a gold's a bonus, isn't it?
So with all those awards, over 30?
Yeah, over 30, yeah.
What one's your favourite? What one really stands out? It's a question, isn't it?
It is a question, yeah. I mean, the gardens I did myself, were a feat because they were self-funded, which I didn't tell my wife until a lot later fucking on. Do you know what? I suppose it wasn't my favourite garden, but we pushed ourselves to the absolute limit with would be the garden at Chatsworth because I still don't know we got it finished.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks. It was huge. It was massive.
Massive.
And David Dodd from the outdoor room, who I'd never met before prior to this. We went straight down to Hampton Court, like I said, and David's walking. I didn't know. I'd not been introduced to him before. I knew who he was. You know, I'd heard of him and everything, but I hadn't been introduced to him anyway. I turned around and I had this fucking massive hand bump on my shoulder. And it's like, fucking hell, that fucking Gordon you fucking built at fucking Chatsworth was fucking amazing. And I turned around, it's David Dodd, like, and he was like, thank you very much, David. You know, it's a big compliment coming from David Dodd.
Yeah.
And he said, Gaz, it was fucking great. I just wanted to keep walking around. I'll never forget that. He said, I wanted to keep walking round and round with it. He said, shook my hand, and I thought, fucking hell, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Coming from somebody like David Dodd. But I think... yeah, for the achievement, that was probably... Yeah, I didn't enjoy building it. The one I enjoyed building was the one at Tatton when we first worked with Paul, because it was fucking easy. It was a big garden.
Fair enough.
You know, it wasn't an easy build, but everything just went smoothly.
Smooth.
Yeah. The trees we had in that garden, there was a ginkgo biloba, and we hired it from... Deepdale Trees, who we always get our trees from. And it was 18 grand to hire it.
To hire a tree?
To hire a tree.
I didn't even know that was such a thing.
Yeah. Well, they don't hire them anymore because people don't look after them. But we hired a tree for 18 grand. Yeah. But everything went just so smoothly. Bradstone provided a lot of materials for us. And to be perfectly honest, Bradford, they slightly miscalculated the amount of slates we needed for one of the roofs. And... we just said, Bradstone, we need these slates. Yeah. And they went, we'll be with you at the end of the day. And it was, you know.
It's the kind of delivery you want.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. And they came up from like down south, somewhere near Wiltshire.
You were part of the garden flower show that the oil activists with the orange paint. You were part of that as well, weren't you?
Hell, sorry.
Stop oil.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I understand about oil, carbon, and I get that. Yeah. And I understand their cause, and I've got sympathy for their cause. Yeah. But you don't shit all over somebody's fucking work.
You said literally just finished, didn't you?
Yeah, just finished. We'd all... I mean, if my lads had been there, fuck me, God knows they'd still be in jail now. But you just don't shit on somebody's work like that. You don't have to throw that all over somebody's hard fucking work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's one of the ones that you get what they're doing and you understand, but what was that going to achieve?
Fuck all.
That was just a publicity stunt. And I get that's probably the point, but...
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. I mean, my phone was going from like the 10 o'clock news.
I can imagine.
And I wasn't allowed to comment because of, you know, that basically as well. They said because Brewing Dolphin, like... basically bought shares in oil and things like that and traded in it. Yeah. They were facilitating oil, you know, the use of oil, but they didn't. They're a wealth management company. Do you know what I mean? They got fuck all to do with oil. Yeah.
It was a shame. I seen it. I seen it on social media and I seen it obviously on the news.
It cleaned up all right, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? But it's just annoying that people think it's all right to do that to somebody's hard work. They put heart and soul in. Mm-hmm.
That was a lovely garden as well.
It was a lovely garden, yeah. Yeah, it was a lovely garden. It was... that
was one with the big, large format tiles on the wall and stuff.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah, they came from Caledonian Stone.
Yep.
Yeah, from the guys up there from Darwin yeah, they were beautiful tiles as well. Yeah, and the other paving slabs on the floor, they were a porcelain slab that came from Paving Stones Direct. Yeah. And yeah, the big oak structure and everything else.
It was lovely.
It was a nice garden, yeah.
Definitely. So that's kind of brought us up to current times. Mm-hmm. And now you're to travelling up and down the country as an expert witness.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there must be plenty of stories for that. Good, bad, ugly, everything in between.
Yeah, there are. I mean...
Was it just a natural progression from being an installer at one time to then... How did you go from A to B?
I didn't. To be honest with you, Alan pushed me. Alan Sargent. Yeah. He's my mentor. If Alan says jump, I say how high.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? He might be 78, but I do as I'm fucking told. Simple as. What Alan's achieved in the landscaping industry has found a member of the APL, you know, and honestly, the things he's done, the places he's been, the knowledge that the man's got,
things he's seen,
things he's seen, and he's just so sharp. So sharp. He helped me out a hell of a lot. And I can remember the bloke never stops, you know.
Yeah.
So I did my first expert. Well, it wasn't my first. It's probably about my third. And I'd got a load of questions because when you do your expert reports, you know, both sides get a set of questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got this set of questions, and I'm like, fucking, I'm struggling with this. Like, Catherine, my wife, just said to me, send them to Alan. Get Alan to just cast his eye over and just, you know, just give an opinion, you know, on the question. And Alan just went, done.
Straight away.
You need to think about this, think about that. Look at the report, what you said there. So what you've said in the report, you need to repeat back into that.
Years of experience.
Yeah. So his experience, I mean, he didn't tell me what to write, didn't show me what to do. He just guided me.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't deviate from what you put in the report, do this. And it was like, fucking, yeah, brilliant. You know what I mean? It was, and he just sorted it like that. And when I can be like looking into the abyss, because don't forget, you know, I've not been to school since like, you know, well, I went to, I say school, it's not really school.
Try to work that out.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, you know, I went to college, didn't I, doing me like my groundworks and doing me like, you know, my horticulture and that, which I actually loved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then, like, I thought, you know what, I need to, like, my dad was always big on, like, when I was younger, he said, like, you know, you're not just going out with a fucking lawnmower and a strimmer cutting people's grass. You're going to learn to do it properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with everything else, you're going to learn to landscape properly. You're going to learn to do this properly. And it set me in massive stead because obviously I was learning to landscape and I was learning about plants as well.
Yeah.
And when I was like going to quote for jobs, people loved it, that I can cover both.
Knowledge on both sides.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah.
So, and I thought, you know what, one day, obviously COVID was there. I thought, you know what, I rung Alan and said, I think I'm going to do a mediation course, Alan. I've got this company there. The way, you know, their courses are recognised worldwide. So I'm going to do that. What do you think? And he went, get it done. So, and of course, when you're in COVID, like all the courses were going cheap, weren't they? Because people want to do them.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was, I mean, I can't remember what it cost me, but it was like, why was I such a dickhead? I don't know. But I did the intense course, which takes a week. Right. And my wife was doing, she was working from home because it was COVID, and I'm like, it's fucking, she has got a very high profile job. She's like director of faculty for Manchester University for science and engineering, that faculty. So she has got a very, very high pressure job. But I was winding up saying, it's fucking easy. You're on Zoom all day. You can go and get your fucking lunch, go and get a brew whenever you want. And, you know, just giving her loads of that. Like at the end of the fucking week, oh my God, I had my head in my hands. I was sweating because I had, you have like you have to do, you know, like a real life scenario with your, you know, you're judged on it. You know, you're not judged, you're marked on it.
Assessed on it.
Yeah, so you've got your verbal and then you've got your written. So you get to go in with people and you fucking hellfire. And I was like, oh my God, I've never been so glad to get it done and dusted. Finished. Yeah, and anyway, I did the written, and then the written was easy compared to that, but like sweating, fucking hell. Then about 4 weeks later, they said, well done, you've passed. I was like, fucking yes. And then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to, then I did because I was doing training at one of the academies, and I thought, do you know, I'm going to do my own training.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll pass me, I got my level 3 trainer, then I thought, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to become an assessor as well. So I trained as an assessor as well. And I qualified as that.
You don't do things by halves?
No, not by halves. There's a couple of other things I still want to do, but I just need to find the time to do that. Do you know what I mean? So there are a couple of other courses I want to do, which I will get around to doing. But probably, I don't think it'll be this year, it'll be next year. But yeah, but the expert witness work side of things, and I'm of the opinion that got 40 to 50% of landscapers that are shite or just about passable.
Yeah.
These are the type of landscapers who've never had a call back in 30 years. Yeah. They don't know what a snag is. They don't have to bond the back of the paving slabs, things like that, you know, because they know fucking better. No matter what evidence you put in front of people, no matter how well you explain it, they know fucking better than you. Yeah. They know better than all the experts. You put manufacturers' specifications in front of them, the manufacturers know fuck all.
Yeah. They do it the other way.
They do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they make me a lot of money, so that's great. So, yeah, you've got them. And then I'm reckoning you've got about 10% who are decent landscapers. Then you've got some very, very good landscapers. This is out of the final 50%. Some very good landscapers. Then you've got your elite landscapers.
Yeah.
You know, like your Willoughbys. And I mean, Willoughbys are just on the next level with May Lim and people like that, you know. And of course, I judge for Barley. Judges Barley Awards. I've judged, just recently judged the Bradstone Awards. I judge the Pro Landscaper Awards. I write a regular article for them as well every month. Yep. And I've judged the Brett Awards, on the Tools Awards as well. So that's another thing I do. But that 50%, the driving prices down.
Yep.
They're doing shoddy work.
Race to the bottom.
Race to the bottom. Bottom feeders.
Yep.
And, you know, combine those with some of these influencers on, you know, fucking Instagram and TikTok and all that crap, and they're arming the industry.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Definitely. Obviously, with the expert witness, you are delivering a service that brings pain to people who have spent a lot of money, but at the same time brings joy to the people that obviously helps them get the outcome they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, there are some people I just can't help.
Yeah.
Because
obviously you post certain wee bits on social media, stuff that you can obviously, like, what is the worst thing you've came across since you've started doing this?
I'd be here till like tomorrow. I really, really would. I mean, I've seen, you know, paving sub bases with, like, you know, when you leave your bottom of your barrow and you leave the mortar in it overnight. I've seen that with like plastic, ball cocks stuck in it, pieces of flags, you know, broken up flags, broken up slabs.
I'm guessing
builder's rubble. You know,
every job must be different. Yeah.
Every job must. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Well, you've seen some of the shit that I have to see.
I'm guessing there must be some times where you get the flip side of the coin, where it's nothing drastically wrong.
No. There are several sides to this coin, so to speak.
It's more than a cube.
Yeah. Dodecahedron. So you've got these. Occasionally, I'll get a landscaper who has got, like I told you about before, the shite customer who you just can't do anything right for. And I had a lad down in where was he? In Essex. So Alan had done a report there, right? They weren't happy with Alan's report. They got me down to do a report. And then they wanted to even go for a third report because they were just trying to screw him.
I was going to say, that's a lot of money spent on reports.
A lot of money, yeah. And so they must have spent like about $2,000 on reports, right? And they wanted to go for a third, and the third expert witness said, I'm not going. I don't want to be involved. You've had 2 reports from 2 independent expert witnesses, right? Don't forget, me and Alan do not ever discuss cases. Do you know what I mean? So, honestly, and, you know, I went there and there was nothing wrong with it. You know, perhaps a couple of things could have been done a little bit better. Yeah. You know, but it was to a standard, a good standard.
Yeah. So basically, right off the bat,
he got his money back. He got his money paid in the end. Yeah. But you have got clients now. I mean, we harp on about protecting yourself. Contract with T's and C's, CDM files to do them, because the CDMs work for you as well. Yeah. And if you don't, all communication by email, things like, we harp on about it because these clients are out there who are just basically want to shaft you. Yeah. It's a game to them.
Like you say, it's a flip on both sides. It could be one side or the other. Yeah. Especially for clients, contractors, all of us, everybody. Yeah. So basically, off the back end of that, we've got, at the turn of the year, we have some British standards coming in, which the truth is, we have not really had to this extent. No. Some people still class landscaping not as a trade, which to me is a bit crazy.
Well, we're going into like decking like platforms and things like that has raised platforms, things like that. They have a British standard.
Yeah.
And obviously
paving
now. Yeah, BS 7533 never really covered domestic paving.
Yeah.
Now it does.
Yep.
The BS 7533 101 document came out in, I think it was October 2021. Now I wasn't on the committee then, but that's a design document. It's still a little bit more geared towards commercial projects. Mm-hmm. So Tony McCormack passed away very sadly, and they asked me to come on board to replace Tony, which big shoes to fill. And Christ Almighty, it was, it took some getting your head round, I'll tell you. But I was helped a lot, and me and another guy called David Strolls, who's chair of the APL. We had a lot of guidance ourselves, because don't forget, some of this stuff is like PhD level. Yeah, that's coming from the likes of David Burton from Steintech and Michael Heap and Ian Walsh and people like that. It was it took some getting your head round, I'll tell you. But once I had to put a hell of a lot of overtime work in, just trying to get to the level I needed to be at, sort of thing. And there's still things now. Every day's a school day. You think all that paving, you might as well fucking pack up. Yeah. Because there's so much to learn. Yeah.
It's the white belt mentality. There's always something new.
Absolutely. Always changing. And it's like, things, why does that happen? And then you'll speak to, I spoke to Jamie from Brett today. Jamie Gledhill, who's a fucking clever lad. And I said, Jamie, I saw a driveway today. And it was like, anyway, that's because I thought, fucking hell, of course it is, but I never crossed my mind. Yeah. But so the standards come out in October 2021, and that's a design document. Now, this installation document now that's come in 102, it's not quite out yet. There's been a bit of bickering going on with it all. Yeah. Anyway, it's over the line now, nearly. I reckon it'll be out by March, hopefully. And it's a good document. There's a lot of good information in it as well. Yeah. But you should be bonding all your paving. Yeah. People go, I don't have to bond my concrete fucking 3x2 slabs. Well, you show me in 101 where it says you don't fucking have to do it then. Yeah. Oh, wait, it's not there.
So do you think the introduction of these new standards will help the industry? Or do you think it will still have your naysayers?
There's the race to the bottom feeders, right? Don't forget, a lot of them bottom feeders have never had a call back in 20 years. So what do they need the fucking British standards for? Yeah. So you're never, ever going to sweep them to one side. You can't work with them. Mm. So, but the progressive landscapers, those that want to improve and want to be better, embrace it. Yeah. So you'll be able to tell a good landscaper because he'll just take it on board. Yeah. If you imagine like a builder, right? Building regulations. You don't obey building regulations, you are fucked. Yeah. Simple as. So, but landscapers, pavers, think they're exempt from rules. Yeah. Because that's how we've always done it.
It's like you say, they don't follow it, and then, for instance, the other side of your work, sure, that then goes, assesses a job, they're not using any bonding water.
No.
Straight away.
Exactly. Well, we touched on it earlier, didn't we? Back in the day, Indian stone could be 60 mil thick, couldn't it? You'd get the odd one that would be like 50, 60 mil, wouldn't you? Yeah. Predominantly 30. Yeah. And, now it's like 19 mil, right? It's like a beer mat. Just flip it up. Yeah. And they all go, oh, you just need a wet bed. Doesn't always work. And especially with your sawn backs. Yeah. And your sawn and honed, you polish, it won't stick to it. Yeah. And it's got no weight to hold it into the bed. And of course, now they calibrate, so it's a flat back. Whereas they were, undulating before, and they nestled into the bed, and they had the weight to hold them down. Now they haven't. But if you go to the world leaders in paving, right? Germany, right? You don't have to. And you said to somebody like a paver in Germany, you don't have to fucking put bonding mortar on the back of your slabs. They just look at you and go, "Do you go to work on a horse?" They're fucking. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like in Germany, you train to be a paver. It can take about 3 or 4 years, 2 or 3 years to become a paver. Then it can take you up to another 5 years to become a master paver. Right? Yep. So, some of these bottom 50% get fucking sacked from Tesco's for being on the phone in the aisles or whatever while they're stacking the milk on the shelves.
Yep.
And that's on the Tuesday. On the Wednesday, they could become a fucking landscaper. Some of them don't they? Some of them. So that's the problem. They don't want to. And to be honest with you, some of these young lads now, you know, they want to be at the. They don't want to put the effort in to get to the top.
Yeah. Just for here to here.
Yeah, that's exactly. There's nothing in the middle with them. You know, and yeah, they don't want to put the effort in. Big Tom, who came to work for me, he didn't like it at the job that he was in before. Tom is mega on the digger. Yeah, like fucking machinery and things like that. I am shit on a digger. I'm not that great on a dumping, even all I have to do is fucking drive it. And anyway, Tom is he's just fucking amazing. Like, you know what I mean? He could flick bottles in and light lighters and I fucking hate it, you know what I mean? And so Tom took a pay rise, but he said if I take a pay cut. Sorry, it's been a long day. It has. And Tom said, I'll take a pay cut, but you've got to train me. So I said, fine, no problem. Tom started on like about 30, 40 quid a day less than what he was already on. And then after 6 months, he said, can you put me up? I said, yeah, I'm going to put you up. 2 years, right, I think I'm ready. I think it's about 18 months, actually. I'm ready again. But he was thirsty for knowledge. And he pushed me, right, come on, you got to put some time for me to one side now. For example, he said, I've never hung a gate. I want to hang a gate. And I was like, right, okay, we'll hang a fucking gate today. Yeah. Come and do a gate, man. Never done brickwork. Gareth, come on, get your trowel, because I was always fucking everywhere, mate. Get the trowel, show me. Showed him. Does all his own brickwork, blockwork now. Yeah. Very, very, very
one
good.
thing that I was always told, the more you learn, the more you learn.
The more you... It's that simple. All day long.
Aye.
But you see, you know, you get these young lads and they just, you know, you say, I'll tell you what, there's a nice little patio for you. Just, you know, I'll check on you. I'll watch you. Mm-hmm. You know, I'll keep on top of you, make sure everything's... So do it yourself. Yeah. They lay that patio and they've done that jump. They've gone from there to there. Mm-hmm. They haven't just gone another rung up the ladder. They think they've climbed 12. Yeah.
It goes for every trade. It doesn't just go...
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It does, yeah.
Anybody can lay a patio, but it's whether you're doing it right.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Yeah. And it's simple. And I mean, you know, you can look at some of these patios that they lay on social media and that, and fucking hell. You know, you just have to look at the brickwork to know that they haven't got enough fucking fall on it, don't you? You know, look at the base panels on the fence. If the fence is level, you can say there's hardly anybody fall on it. Yeah. So
the joys
again
on the back end of what you've just discussed there about the race to the bottom, the Cowboys and everything in between. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've got a website with Alan.
We have, yes, and the paving.site.
That is a helpful website.
It is, and it's only going to get bigger and better. Believe me. We've got me and Alan wrote a book at the beginning of last year, and you know, if somebody had said to me, "You're going to write a book," fucking hard, I laughed at him. But of course, Alan pushed me. Where is it? Where's that article now? Come on. I've done 13. How many have you done? Two. Come on, Gareth. Come on, get it. You know, he pushed me. So we wrote the book, A to Z on paving. Yep. And there's some great information in that book. We then transferred the book onto our website. We've then brought in guest authors, Jamie Gledhill from Brett. We've got designers on. We've got Paul Harvey Brooks. Yeah. Surprise.
It's like a publication. It's like an article.
It is.
It's easy reading.
Absolutely easy reading. And, you know, we've got paving from a designer's perspective, but not just one, several designers. Bo Cook's just done an amazing article. Now she specs paving. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We've got articles. We've got tarmac driveways, asphalt driveways. So Dan Cloak is going to be doing that off patios and drives, the admin. Dan on the civils. Not only is he a great landscaper, Dan, but he's a fucking clever lad. Yeah. You know, on the civils and everything else, he is bang on. So we got all the Nelson Birch. I don't know if you know Nelson Devon Driveways. Yeah. Fucking hell. You get talking to Nelson about resin-bound gravel. My God. I'm a geek. You're a geek. You're just like, fucking Fucking hell, I didn't know that.
Super,
I didn't.
super geek.
Fucking super geek on steroids. Honestly, Nelson is, Devon Driveways. And he's telling you about all this, but he's so interesting, so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
You know, and so we got Nelson on board. We got so many of the top people on board doing articles for us. Like I say, the permeable article that Jamie's done is fucking quality. You know, Jamie's on the 103 committee for permeable pavements, which is going through, which they're doing now. And we've just got all the best people in the country doing articles for us. Yep. Obviously, I mean, I'm going to writing our articles out. There's so much information on there.
Yeah. You
wouldn't believe. There's like an introduction to 102. I'm doing all the installation guides now, but I want to push the installation guides through the fucking roof. Yeah. Not like, I'm not going to mention any names, but some of them are just very brief and just to the, you know, I'm going with the installation guides I'm doing. I've been doing them with Pavestone today, with Mark from Pavestone, because they've got some cracking products as well. So we've been doing that about their new clay pavers and things like that. So I want to push it right to the limit. It's like a step-by-step guide.
Yeah, so it's a technical guide.
Technical fucking guide. Not just your 100 mil type one. Well, what if you've got like poor ground?
Yeah.
You know, if you're on like a very heavy marl clay, what would you do then? Well, we put some geogrid in. We put some membrane in to stop fines migration, put some geogrid in, and we connect it all together with the ties, and that's going to pull it, you know, stop it, you know, any heave. So we're giving in, you know, when you're laying your paving, measure back from your baseline to make sure you're staying square. And when you're doing block paving, you know, don't just take it from the top all the time. Take it, vertically and back at 45 degrees all the time. Keep working your way back.
Yep.
You know, take it from 3 pallets.
Yep.
You know, intermediate edge restraints on steep drives. We go through fucking everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
So it could be used as a good learning tool.
Absolutely a good learning tool. But
and without being biased, it's definitely something people should check out.
Thank you, mate. I do appreciate it, because we've put a hell of a lot of effort into it, and we're still putting a hell of a lot of effort in. And we had the open day. I want to give some lads some credit as well for this. My dad had just died, and my best mate had died 4 days before my dad.
Yep.
Right, my mum had had a fucking operation on her eye, and my mum's got Alzheimer's as well, so things were not good. And I was looking for every excuse not to go to the website's launch. So Alan said to me, obviously, look, Gareth, don't worry about it. You know, you've got shit going on. He said, if you don't want to come, I'll just take care of it. Don't worry. And I was thinking, fucking hell, I don't want to go. Anyway, Matt Beasley, Matthew Brockhurst, Daz Smith, young Jacob Brockhurst, and of course, the one and only classic paving himself said, you're coming down with us in the bus. Do you know what I mean? Jason Clark, classic paving. He's like the leader of that little gang.
Yeah.
And Jason's a fucking legend. He's an amazing. They're all amazing pavers. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Just Marshall's boys, but they're all migrating out now to different companies as well. But they said, you're coming down with us. You're coming down in our bus. We're going to get some beers. You're going to have a great time. You're coming down with us. They made the fucking day for me.
They made you do it.
They made me day. Made me come down. And I tell you what, absolute, them guys, I can't thank them enough for that day.
They're a great bunch. And
they are.
Follow Jacob. I think he's
a lovely kid.
Bright future ahead of him.
He's got a great teacher with his dad.
Definitely.
Because me and Matty met in 2012. And at Tatton, first Tatton garden we ever did. He had hair then as well. And me and Matt got on great. We've, stayed in contact ever since. He's introduced me to a lot of like Daz and all the rest of them, and Jason Clark. And when you look at Jason Clark's record, fucking hell, Fire with Marshall. Yeah. Some of the stuff he's got. Unbelievable, Ben Barris as well. I mean, I look at Ben, worked on his own for years, and he used to do like £250,000 gardens on his own. I'm like, fucking hell. Just great landscapers. But it's, we got them as like guest, as well, or VIP celebrities and what have you on the website. But the website really is smashing it.
Yeah, and it's going to keep growing.
It is going to keep going, and the industry has absolutely embraced it.
Good.
For sponsors, we've got people ringing us up, smaller companies paving companies are like, why haven't you invited us? Why? Well, we want to be part of it. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good thing.
It is a good thing, It is, because they all see the value in it.
And it's one of the ones, they're the people that will help continue to grow.
Exactly. And, we're there to support them. They're there to support us.
Scratching each other's backs.
Exactly. And, they want the paving done right. We don't want all these fucking bottom feeders, do we? Driving bloody prices down, doing shit work. Because it doesn't do the industry any good. And I want to see, like young Jacob,
doing it right.
Doing it, his dad's training him. I mean, honestly, that lad will go far.
Yeah.
Do you know, I hope he's going to go into World Skills, I think, as well. And I think he'll be one of the best. There's no two ways in my mind about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because not just because his dad is, because he's separate from his dad. He's his dad's son, but he's a person on his own. Do you know what I mean?
He's being taught and he's learning, but he's going to be the same person, isn't he?
But what you got to remember about Jacob is have you ever met him, by the way?
No, I've not met him. I've just spoke to him on social media and stuff.
Well, the thing about him is he's humble. His dad's incredibly fucking humble.
Yeah.
I can't even begin. I mean, his dad's got the opening page and our thing with that porphyry driveway with the fans. Fucking hell, it's beautiful. But that, you're not expecting anything different from his dad, do you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But young Jacob is a very humble lad. He's not cocky. He's not full of himself. I'm sure he is with his dad, but, he's nothing but, he's just a lovely lad. But it's all about, you don't have to be the absolute best to be a landscaper. You just have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Every garden doesn't have to be fucking Chelsea unless they're paying for it. It just has to be to a good standard.
Good standard.
Do you know what I mean? Constantly, yeah. And that's the thing with Jacob, you see. He's a very, very humble lad. He wants to improve. He doesn't think he knows it all. That's very important, I think. And, it shows with him because he's a lovely lad.
That's exactly what you said earlier. There's always room to learn. Always room to improve.
All the way. I've learned 2 things while I've been coming up here today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I was speaking to Jamie before, I'm always looking to do something to improve.
Yeah.
Top and bottom of it.
Definitely. Well, I've really enjoyed you telling your story. The only thing I want to ask you before we wrap up is, throughout this vast experience and journey that you've had, if you stand here now, is there anything that you would tell your younger self?
Well, I'm trying to tell my son, because my son's 17, and he's been in landscaping since he was 14. It didn't quite work out for him at school. He didn't like school, and school didn't really want him there because he was always causing trouble. But I'm just trying to get it. What I want to try to get through to our Freddie is, and my younger self would be, go for it.
Yeah.
But learn.
Yeah.
Don't any opportunities to improve yourself, right? Do it. Do courses. There's plenty of the academies are there now. Do the courses. Do the on-site training.
Yep.
If you don't know something, ask. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I must get about 20 bloody questions, not a day, but I can do sometimes. I'm always there to help if I can.
Yeah.
There's information on the website, paving.site. The information is out there. When I was young, and you were younger, the information wasn't there, was it? Ask the question. Never be careful who you ask. Don't ask some of these influencers because they haven't got a fucking clue. Ask the right people.
Yep.
And if you start speaking to, I'll tell you what, I'll use Jacob again as an example. Talking to Mark and the guys at Pavestone today. Oh, Jacob, he's doing some cracking work, isn't he? Speak to people, and they'll, suppliers will want you to use their products.
Yeah. Speak
to suppliers. Giles at CED, another one. London Stone. I could name all the guys who have got technical backgrounds.
Yep.
I could name loads and loads and loads and loads of companies. But they will have a technical department who will be able to help you and give you the right answers.
Yeah.
I wrote an article once, and I was sick of people fucking going on fucking Facebook saying, how much water do I put in flow point? And it's like, turn the fucking bag over, it fucking tells you 4.25 litres. Why ask somebody on fucking Facebook who's probably never done it before?
Yeah.
Somebody else might have told them wrong. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I did want to call it turn the fucking bag over, but they wouldn't let me. So get the information, choose the right people to build up relationships.
Yeah, that's a massive thing.
Massive fucking build up relationships, and you'll find there are a lot of good guys. You speak on You know, we'd not met before today, but we've spoken on Instagram fucking loads and loads and loads of times. Do you know what I mean? And it's just build relationships, build, you know, communities like the lads from Marshalls have. Like Clarkey and all them lot and all his little crew, and you know, build them relationship, and people start to help you out.
That's it. It's that simple. And like you said, social media is everything now, and you can speak to anybody as long as
pick the right people. And you find these little communities, you know, and my whacker's broke. Oh, I'll lend you my fucking whacker. Oh, you haven't got a spare mate, have you? Mine's gone for a beat.
Yeah.
But it's the help. People will help you.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, never be afraid to ask for help and absorb all the information. Do your research. You know,
suck
it all in. Yep. And it's, you know, if you're using a new grout, ring the people who manufacture the grout. They'll have a helpline. Yep. Listen, I'm about to do it. Can you give me any advice? Ring them that make it.
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah.
I think that's some solid advice to your younger self.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Well, again, I appreciate you coming on. I know you've been doing a lot of travelling. You've got a busy day tomorrow in Glasgow.
No problem.
Time for bed?
Time for bed. No, straight to bed, mate. Yeah.
I'm not coming with you. Thanks very much.
No problem at all, mate.
Cheers.
It's back soon. Bye-bye.